The first Little Mermaid began the Disney Renaissance with some of the most brilliant, revitalizing Disney flicks that would help put Disney back on the map and would even net them their highest grossing animated film for some time until Frozen. Little Mermaid 2. Not at quite. Well, actually, yeah, okay. Little Mermaid 2. Some things better than the first one. It was good, I'd say.
Well, eh.
So, and that was the end of Little Mermaid, because after that, there was, oh, that's right, there was the Little Mermaid animated series.
I haven't seen that in years. I don't even remember how good it was or how bad it was. I don't know.
It was the usual Disney par, but that was pretty much it for Little Mermaid. I guess all that was left to do was just go back to the beginning and, oh, right, there was a Little Mermaid free, as the UK calls it.
Yeah, in Europe it's called Little Mermaid Free, but in America it's called Little Mermaid Ariel's Beginning, as it should because it's a prequel.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Little Mermaid free, Ariel's Beginning, Lion King free, even though, seriously, UK.
Yeah, I don't understand what was up with Disney Europe.
Okay, folks, this is the ever climatic, I can't even finish that sentence, the finale of the Little Mermaid trilogy. See, there came a time when John Lasseter pretty much put an end to Disney animated sequels, which was kind of a shame because there were quite a few that showed that there was a lot of potential. And one of the projects canned, as we've mentioned before, was Mulan Free, which was actually going to deal with the after effects of Mulan 2.
And Dumbo 2. There was also a Dumbo 2 in production, but that was canceled as well because of
this
John.
This was the last one, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, this was the last one made because by the time John took over, it was already too late to can this one, so they had to go with what they had.
Now, how to describe this, imagine that you're a student who is working on this ever richly funded project. However, you have your boss or teacher who's constantly staring you down with the evil eye, and you know that your project is about to have its funding cut. That's pretty much what it was like to work on Little Mermaid Free, as the UK calls it. Ariel's Beginning.
Yeah. Alright, start before the CGI Disney logo.
And 3, 2, 1, click. So, for as overrated as it may be nowadays, the original Little Mermaid had one of the most gorgeous soundtracks that Disney could offer, with some breathtaking animation for its time and age. The sequel to Little Mermaid 2, at the very least, held up the par by having at least as good a soundtrack, even though it had to reuse a few songs from the original movie. As for this movie, what's this movie got? Shake, Shake, Shake Sonora as its main tune.
Oh,
no, I'm not kidding.
Interesting fact, on the DVD and Blu-ray release of this film, they had these interactive games on them. In the UK version, they had to cut out the word spastic.
Wow, how lazy. Like, remember how we build up with the orchestra to the title screen in the original film?
Even the sequel.
They just throw the title out as like that. It's Little Mermaid. There
Straight
you go.
to the point.
Heck, even the sequel had some build-up too.
Might as well not bother. We're not gonna make any more of these.
Okay, I'll give the movie this. It actually has a decent beginning, and it actually has a pretty good opening, which gives us some much-needed backstory.
Yeah, the opening flashback scene is the best part of the movie, which means, of course, it's all downhill after this.
I mean, hey, already we've got a good first impression. Nice, fluid animation that actually looks like a proper
evolution. Ariel's mom. That's right. For the first time, we finally see Ariel's mom. So, which means, of course, but of course, she's a Disney mom, so we all know what's going to happen to her.
Yeah. On one note, it's actually kind of weird seeing the CG Disney logo and then it goes into 2D animation.
I'll just say this: if the original film had this sequence in it, it would have made certain aspects so much better. You'll see eventually when we get to it.
So, of course, we have narration given to us by good old Sebastian.
So...
Seven princesses, that's just enough to form Kingdom Hearts with.
So Ariel's mom is basically just a slightly changed of the design of Ariel, really.
Them genes carried across hard, didn't they?
That's true, Joe. But at the same time, all the other sisters don't look anything like their mom. So I guess Ariel's a special one. I guess.
Yep.
See, look at that! Look at that! Look how pretty. So yeah, the other sisters don't even get a good night's kiss. Apparently, they're so unimportant.
See, the mother knew that her
chosen one.
But those kids are gonna love their mom, aren't they? Yeah, we'll kiss the special Ariel, but you are.
Sure.
Okay. I'll give him this. This is also a neat throwback to Little Mermaid 2 as well. Again, Little Mermaid 2 was such a weird deal. There were some things I liked better about that movie than its origin, but it wasn't perfect by any means. Of course, this actually does give some facilitation to that music box that Triton later on gives to Melody. Everyone's happy and everyone's singing. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Oh hey, look, it's Ariel.
We
and
like
some
being,
other girls.
we like being alive. We like being alive. We like being alive.
Oh hey, darling, it's Ariel and some other people. Ha ha.
Dogpile! Storm!
Oh,
no,
you see, guys, God was like, oh, a dramatic moment. All right, let me bring in the clouds.
Oh no, it's pirates!
It's man. Yes, man. Man will eat your children. And
was there any specific reason that they had to be pirates in particular?
Because it came out the year after Pirates of the Caribbean 3. I don't know.
It's because
But
pirates
it's
are usually
Pirates of
associated with bad people on the sea and stuff like that.
I guess it feels a little, I don't know.
You could just get away.
No! Tell my daughter I love her!
Really? You couldn't have just tried to swim away?
Yeah, like in hindsight, yeah, that was quite contrived.
But it's okay.
Like Pedro said, she is a Disney mother. She is fated to perish.
But it's okay, guys. The music box survived.
Yes, but Shiri, that's the thing. Most Disney princesses don't die because of stupidity.
She's actually a queen.
The queen. Well, I think what this means is that yes, we always have the scene where Disney parents die, but usually there's some good reason why they die. Like,
hey, let's do a comparison here. Lion King. Mufasa dies trying to save his son. Beauty and the Beast. Okay, Belle's mom died because of the plague, as the live-action movie showed. Cinderella. Her father died being just the greatest gosh darn dad ever. Okay, maybe that's not as good, but my point is, it's like, well, comparing this to other parents, come on. It's like, gee, it's like your music box means more to you than your kids, like children who need you.
Hell, the pirates didn't even kill her on purpose. She just kind of stood there and let the ship ram into her. Like,
I wanted my music box.
Okay, I will, however, give it credit. At the very least, it helps give some extra context to the original film and why King Triton hates music so much and why he's such a bitter person in the original film. Again, the big problem with the first film to me is how Triton just comes across as an asshole for no real reason. This flashback for his contracted at the very least gives him a reason for why he hates humans.
Oh hey, Ursula, in mermaid form.
Yeah, that's another thing. They kind of think that said it. Well, maybe she is. Maybe it's never outright confirmed. Like it's like they were afraid to connect this to the original film.
See, unlike Ursula,
Benson voicing Ariel.
Yeah, of course. See, now, unlike Ursula and her crazy sister, this one is not voiced by Pat Carroll, although she has
Which is a crime, by the way. A Little Mermaid movie without Pat Carroll. That is criminal.
Which is weird because honestly, Pat Carroll could have voiced this woman. I mean, okay, you don't even have to make her Ursula. Although weirdly enough, some morals here do have it say that Ursula did eventually get turned into an octopus as opposed to a mermaid at some point. Especially seeing as how Once Upon a Time the series ran with that. So let's just say here, folks. By the end of this, you'll be expecting her to have become Ursula. Almost everyone who saw this movie did. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. I feel like maybe this movie should have gone for more Lion King 1.5 sort of thing. Not so much about what these characters were doing, but maybe see Ariel's childhood growing up without her mother. Because we kind of immediately skip to Ariel in her teen or adult years, whatever, whatever age she'll be when she eventually runs off with Eric. Well,
in the first film, she's 16. They flat out spell her age verbally. In here, I'm guessing she's like 15. Maybe this is like a year before or something. I don't know.
I have no time for your shenanigans.
Is King Triton still voiced by Kenneth Mars?
No, actually.
I think his voice actor had died at this point.
He was dying of pancreatic cancer, so instead he's voiced by Jim Cummings.
Okay. Good old Jim Cummings, one of the veteran voices of many voices. So here you can see King Triton is quite strict, rigid, ever since their mother had died.
Obviously.
And this is Marina, the governess, who's competing with Sebastian.
And she's voiced by Sally Field.
Why is Sally Field in this movie?
Hey, it's Aunt May.
Sally Field is a brilliant actress. Why she's an Oscar-worthy actress? Why is she in a Disney direct-to-video sequel?
Well, I guess she heard that some of them were good and thought this would be one of the good ones, especially since it was the last one.
Did she lose a lot of money at gambling and she really desperately needed this extra job or something?
I think that's Jennifer Tilly who you're thinking of. She's a professional gambler and poker player.
Okay, yeah, but I'm still wondering why the hell Sally Field's in this movie.
Because we needed the talent. And I'll give her this. Marina is an interesting character. I mean, as far as... Oh, well, you probably already know she's going to be the villain just by looking at her.
I'm checking the voice cast right now. Obviously, we have Jodie Benson as Ariel, as always. Samuel L. Wright as Sebastian, of course. Like we've said, Jim Cummings plays King Triton and Shelbo. Sally Field, yeah. We have Tara Strong as Adela and Andrina. Yes, for two of the unimportant sisters that don't really matter because they have little to no character, they brought to get Tara fucking Strong. The one of the all-time queens of voice acting.
Are you surprised?
Okay, but these characters are these sisters are so unimportant and whatever. Why would you get such a talented actress to play these? Any random schmo can play these.
Well, to be fair, the sisters pretend to have a point at some point during the movie. The keyword being pretend.
Pretend, yeah. This movie is basically about Ariel trying to bring the music back or some shit.
Oh, we haven't gotten to that plot point yet, but yeah. Now, as far as... Oh, God.
Yeah. You dare say, thank God this is over?
It's very scandalous, and you're much too young to be doing that, daughter.
Fun? Need I remind you of law number 587? No fun allowed.
Sorry, Father. I kind of stopped at rule number 500.
What was that law again?
Always praise the sun rooster.
No, I think that was rule number 897. Rule 500 is the king's beard must be groomed every Friday at all times.
So who's doing it right now, then?
It's Wednesday.
Of course. I keep forgetting because we don't exactly have a concept of days down here.
Of course we do. The sun.
Right.
By the way, guess who voices this manatee?
Winnie the Pooh, by the sounds of it.
Jeff Bennett.
Oh, Jeff Bennett! Whoa!
Benjamin the manatee.
Wait, Jeff Bennett? Like, you know, the same...
Well, do you know any other voice acting Jeff Bennetts, Jova? I don't.
Goodness
Jeff
gracious.
Bennett, didn't he? Wasn't Jeff Bennett the one who did that? One of the weird. Well, they're all weird. That Tim Curry sounded like in Food Fight.
I think so. Jeff Bennett is the guy who you often get to do announcer voices.
Jeff Bennett's probably his most iconic character is Johnny Bravo, Dwebs. And Dexter's dad.
So, question for all three of you: did you guys ever buy this movie on DVD?
No.
I was a kid, so of course I was interested in this movie at the time because, you know, I liked the first Little Mermaid before I went through my phase of hating it, but now I'm just indifferent to it. And I liked Little Mermaid too. Always have, always will.
What about you, Shuri?
I missed the question.
Did you ever buy this film on DVD, whether you knew it was going to be the last one of these or not?
No, I didn't even know this movie was a thing until like a year ago.
Well, I didn't know a few. When I was walking through places like Woolworths.
Pedro, the song's been going on for actually quite a bit. I'm sorry if you haven't noticed, but yes, this is our villain song, everyone.
Whenever I was walking through Woolworths back when that was a thing, I always glanced at the DVD after. Are there any more of these Disney sequels? And I saw Cinderella 3.
Oh, look at that! She also has eels.
Eels.
Why don't you just have her be the origin story of Ursula? It would make sense.
It would have been so perfect. God dang it! But I digress. Okay. This is
They also there's also another sister called Alana who's voiced by Jennifer Hale.
Yep, Jennifer Hale, Tara Strong. Why don't we just throw in?
Paulson is Inkspot. Yes,
Carrie Walker's in this film too.
Oh yeah,
Kevin Michael Richardson. They bothered to get Kevin Michael Richardson to voice Cheeks the Blowfish.
Oh
and
yeah.
The Manta Ray. Oh, Dubs, check out this amazing name. Kevin Michael Richardson plays Ray the Manta Ray. Huh?
So, can I just point out...
That sounds like a name Shark Tale would come up with.
So, can I just point out an issue here? The first song is the villain song.
I love villain songs. The problem is that this one is just generic.
Not only that, but when your first song is literally the villain song, I think that suggests, what's the P word problem again? Pacing.
Yeah, usually these villain songs come later.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll say this right now. But Marina Del Rey, as far as Disney villains go, she's actually somewhat more sympathetic because, she's competing with Sebastian, and let's just say...
Hi, Flounder.
Oh, God. Another crime this movie does, it retcons the original's meaning. The Disney animated TV series of Little Mermaid actually established that these two met when they were, like, way, way younger.
Was Flounder like this in the other films?
No.
Not really. He was just kind of there.
Now he's pretending he's freaking Freddie Mercury.
Okay. In the first film, Flounder was a well-meaning friend, if not a bit cowardly. In the second film, he was basically a father, older or whatnot, who, just helped out here and there. So, when you think about it, Flounder's a bit of an inconsistent character. Maybe it was fish puberty.
It's not just that. Another thing is that you'll notice that we're almost 17 minutes into this 1 hour. Yeah. We've only literally got about.
Oh, here we go. Oh wait, here we go. Finally, the main plot. Music is forbidden. Just took us 17 minutes to get to that, now didn't it?
With credits included, mind you, I'm including credits on this. We've only got 1 hour of movie left, and yet nothing has happened yet.
And let me remind you, folks. The first song was the villain song, yet we haven't heard any other Disney songs yet.
Excuse me, Dwebs, could you see if you could find the plot somewhere? Because I can't seem to find it.
Does Wikipedia count?
Sorry, Dwebs, I didn't find it within the movie.
Hold on, throwback to the first movie.
Yay. Just
You
makes
know-
me wish I was watching the first one. The first one had great music.
You know, this kind of makes me wonder, actually. If there are sentient talking fish right here and there, why was the shark not able to talk in the first movie?
Because
This is the thing, Jova. It's abundantly clear that a lot of times the people who made these sequels didn't actually give a crap about consistency.
Okay.
anyone.
You know what? To be fair, we're talking about Disney. They're the same people who have Goofy and Pluto coexist. So I guess maybe.
No. I don't mean it like that, Joe. I mean like consistency between movies. Like, okay, you had sharks be mindless monsters in the first film. Then you should be consistent and keep that up in the sequels. Then.
Yeah. These are actually swordfish, but yeah, they look big enough to be sharks.
Well, okay, fine. Maybe for swordfishes,
It's still jarring either way, though.
it's just weird that you have some fish talk and other fish don't talk.
I
mean,
agree.
How does it work exactly? I mean, the original, at the very least, it was just one shark, so it was easier to overlook. But in these sequels, we get more different kinds of aquatic life forms.
Some
So
of which
it's-
can talk, some of which can't talk.
It's basically bound to the will of the director, I guess.
Oh, this bit. That's right. Music is outlawed. Like, holy
So-
cow, that was like a...
So.
yay! Finally, I don't have to sit for a musical.
Wow, that was...
So Shiroi,
Yes.
thanks to being an Inokuni fan, I know what mon. I know the whole use of the word mon in Welsh.
Mon, yeah.
But Sebastian uses mon as in M-O-N. So what does that mean?
That's a
He's
Jamaican
Jamaican.
accent. That's a
Welsh
Jamaican...
is like M-U-N.
Allow me to explain.
it?
That's a Jamaican expression, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Mon's Jamaican, Mun is Welsh, M-U-N.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know that, Dibs. I was just asking what the M-O-N was.
Okay, Pedro, watch season 2 of Luke Cage. You'll get plenty of exposure to the Jamaican language.
Well, I haven't seen it. I was just waiting
Look,
for season 3
hold on, guys. We get to enjoy Tara Strong and Jennifer Hale argue, I guess. Yay!
Who else is voicing the
Oh,
princesses?
so Tara Strong was in 2 Little Mermaid movies then.
Oh yeah, that's right. Tara Strong voiced Melody in The Little
Yeah.
Mermaid 2. So she goes from being main character to background character.
Well, it's called Ariel's Beginning.
True.
Not Ariel's Beginning, oh, by the way, there's her sisters too.
And that would be fine, Dwibs. That's not a problem. My problem is that they bothered to get these 2 incredibly talented actresses to play characters that don't really warrant such a choice.
Okay. To be fair, I mean, I guess it's to show that Disney truly do care every bit and now. And hey, at least now we get some development with the... Oh, wait, nope, never mind. There goes the sister. He is our father, Ariel.
It's kind of like how Goodberg got Abe freaking Vigoda to play a nutty old man who trips over his own shoelaces all the
In
time.
which movie?
Goodberger.
Oh,
They wanted to get Abe Vigoda from The Godfather to play a kooky, stupid old man who trips over his shoelaces all the time. Because
Hey, it's still better than what they did with him in North.
Hey, guess what we're gonna do? I have a good idea, Dwes. We're going to make an animated film that has a completely idiotic main comedy relief that cannot tie his own, cannot for the life of it even find a direction or do anything. Like, you might as well even drool for all I care. Who should we get this character? Let's get Marlon freaking Brando to play him. Clearly, this is the right. Clearly, someone of Marlon Brando's skill is required to bring this character to life. I mean.
Yeah, sure.
I just have to wonder, how do you sneak underwater? There's not really that much amount of sound in the air, and why am I thinking of this? Oh yeah, because this movie hasn't given me much else to think about.
Yeah, where is the plot?
Well, we're finally about to get it. You ready, Shiroi?
Is the plot just her trying to find a way to sing without anyone in the kingdom hearing?
I don't know. Sure, you haven't said much. What do you think?
I think.
Therefore, I am.
Don't worry, the movie's not going anywhere, Shiroi. Go on. Okay.
It really isn't going anywhere.
Open sesame seaweed? What?
Do some.
You have to say the password.
Do something, you
Yeah,
stupid
don't-
movie.
Sesame seaweed, whatever.
Is this why the Disney sequels were cancelled? Because they were running out of ideas?
No. Literally, the only reason was because John Lasseter just said, yeah, you know this Disney direct-to-video sequels? Yeah, this is the last one.
And yet he kept.
Because John Lasseter turned out to be such a shining example as a leader, didn't he?
Well, Dwibs, it's a case of becoming what you hate most, now isn't it?
To be fair, Dwibs, his personal life and how he conducts himself is irrelevant to the quality.
Pedro. I think he's talking more so about how John Lasseter ended up okaying a lot of stupid ideas, like Cars 2, Cars 3.
Okay then. Okay, never mind then. Well, true, Dwibs, but at the same time.
Oh wait, watch this. It's that easy, huh? Never mind if like a security guard is waiting to get in.
The people under the sea have very shitty security, I guess.
Under the
Ursula
sea,
in this movie?
under the sea, here we go.
Hold on, yes, Dwibs?
Is Ursula Eve in this movie?
Is there what?
The villain from the first film.
Ursula?
No. That's exactly the problem, Dwibs. That purple mermaid character who's the villain should be Ursula, and yet for some reason she isn't.
Question though, did Ariel know who Ursula was in the first film before?
It's really this easy to get in.
In the first film, Dwibs, they established that Ursula used to work at the palace. However, she was exiled by King Triton for some reason that was never properly explained.
Yeah.
So you'd think this movie would be the one to explain that, and yet for some reason there's this other character that has nothing to do with Ursula.
Don't worry, guys. I'm sure we'll explain this in Little Mermaid 4. Oh no, wait.
Okay. You thought I was kidding, but nope. Folks, this is the main theme of the movie. Shake, 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 Sonora, jump in the line. So, let's see, we went from the Majesty
Ariel's facial animations are a little,
They didn't bother to get Alan Menken for this, Jova, so...
Yeah, but they didn't even try with the soundtrack here.
Alan Menken at the time was busy writing the score for Tangled.
Did he do the score for Princess in the Way that was random?
Oh, and look at this irony of irony. Sebastian, who is so strict, is actually the one leading the hidden music club.
The Princess and the Frog.
of course he is.
That was Randy Newman, wasn't it?
Yeah, Randy Newman did the Princess and the Frog soundtrack. Which makes sense considering the gimmick
that was
of that
funny.
movie is New Orleans music. And Randy Newman is from New Orleans, so it makes sense to have him do the music. It's just the problem is that his typical bad lyrics writing creeps in sometimes. So. I still think that Randy Newman should do what Alan Menken does and get a lyricist, someone who can write his lyrics instead of writing the lyrics himself.
Okay,
And he died.
Okay, not gonna deny. I don't hate that song. In fact, I actually like Jumpin' the Line. It's just when a Little Mermaid movie has to resort to, the public
pre-existing music,
music, there's something wrong. Like, look, I throw a lot of shade at a lot of Disney sequels, but even some of the worst Disney sequels have at least turned out their own original soundtrack. Little Mermaid, the movie series...
Little Mermaid 2 were not great, but at the very least they were original.
Let me put it like this. Little Mermaid has always been one of the most musically themed of the Disney series, and yet to see the third movie resort to this is quite possibly to me the biggest problem with this movie. For a movie that is called Ariel's Beginning, Ariel, who has such a lovely singing voice thanks to Jodie Benson, the movie that's about Ariel having to deal with her father banning music in the kingdom, has a lackluster soundtrack. There.
Well, Jova, that's what happens when you don't get Alan Menken involved, I guess.
No, I mean, okay, look, you don't even need Alan Menken. Like, there are so many many proprietors they could have gotten in. Like, again, like you said, with Princess and the Frog, which was in 2009, they at least got Randy Newman. I forgot. I think this movie was released in... What was
A year before Princess and the Frog. Princess and the Frog came out the year after this, then Tangled, and so on and so forth.
Holy cow, the Disney direct-to-video sequels have been dead for over 10 years now.
Yep.
I'll admit, But yeah, it's like, again, maybe it's...
Well, Joe, at the very least now we're getting theatrical sequels.
For better or for worse, since we're getting Maleficent, the Mistress of Evil...
Oh, that. I thought we were talking about the animated ones, though.
Oh, animated ones. Yeah, sure. They're good.
I mean, the live-action... Well, remember, Joe, but the live-action movies are done by a separate department at Disney. The Walt Disney Animation Studios have nothing and stuff.
Okay, so we finally get Ariel's song, and what is it? Mostly la 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 la.
Brilliant lyrics. Who needs our Ashman when you got this?
Hey, Pedro, they're making such a good use of Jodie Benson's singing voice, aren't they?
Our Ashman is turning over in his grave right now.
Oh, he died?
But don't you know, Joe?
Right, yeah, he died.
Howard Ashman did the work together with Alan Menken to write the lyrics of Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I know that.
Beauty and the Beast. The problem is that by the time he was working on Beauty and the Beast, he had unfortunately he had cancer. It got wait. Well, actually, no, it wasn't. No, never mind. It wasn't cancer. It was AIDS. Sorry.
Do you remember, guys? Because Ariel remembers.
Yeah, she remembers love.
Remember, Mermaid. Remember where you came from. Another galaxy.
Yes, Ariel is secretly a Zeistchen.
This bit. Hey, a throwback to that line from Under the Sea.
So basically, here's our plot. There's a
Sorry, for a second I thought my iPhone switched off.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our plot. There's a hidden club of various sea creatures that love music who play music in secrecy away from the king. And that's it. That's our plot.
Are you excited, guys?
Enjoy.
Joy?
I got nothing.
Okay, but like I was saying, no, basically, Joe, Howard Ashman, by the time he was working on Beauty and the Beast, he was already really, really sick. And unfortunately, he died before any major work could be done on Aladdin. So Tim Rice came in and wrote the lyrics for Aladdin. And ever since then, Alan Menken had different lyrics until he found Glenn Slater with Hercules, and he's stuck with Glenn Slater since then.
So I really have to wonder, how did Disney not get one of their many song and musician writers for this movie? Because
this movie was made as a quick cash grab.
Yeah, I guess, to be fair, since this was really the last one. So I guess this is kind of their equivalent to Fan 4 Stick. They knew they were running out of time, but they still had to squeeze out every little bit of cash.
Well, I don't think it's as bad as Fan 4 Stick.
Oh, no. More like it's just their equivalent in the sense of running out of time, but no, it's nowhere near as bad. So let's see. So whereas the first Little Mermaid had nice detail, gorgeous visuals, a fantastic soundtrack, and whereas the sequel had a decent enough soundtrack, good visuals, and arguably something of a better story, this movie just has boobs. Loads of boobs. Lots of stupid idiots. Oh, and the other type of boobs, too. But what good are those boobs? Boobs.
Okay, Joe,
ladies and gentlemen,
what? They're idiots.
Jova has boobs on the brain.
Jova's having a midlife crisis in his early 20s.
Shiroi, do you have? Is there any? Can you find anything other in the movie that's pleasant to look at?
I know, right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure these are all underage.
Well, they're airheads. So
well, actually, Shiroi, earlier they said that the red one is the oldest. So for all we know, she's actually.
Well, but didn't they say 16? Because that's
Ariel is around 16 because this takes place shortly before the first movie. I mean, and she looks pretty much exactly like she does in the first movie. So I'm assuming, if not 16 by now, at the very least 15. So I'm assuming the older sisters are probably already on their 18s. Regardless, Joe. The basic point is, Shiroi. All they do is shove half naked girls in this movie.
Well, I mean, they are mer people.
But don't you see, Shiroi? She's 16, but she's 16 in mermaid ears. They're different than human ears, maybe.
They're not dogs.
How do you know, Shiroi? Are you an expert on mermaid mythology?
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry for not. This movie is so boring. Most of the time, nothing is happening in it.
Ariel's just talking about how she goes clubbing, as she put it.
Clubbing.
This is what Little Mermaid has turned into. The equivalent of, oh, I did this last night. Oh, I did this last night. Oh, he's doing me this night.
Ariel's nightlife.
Really?
Christ, really half an hour in? Fuck.
And of course, the eldest one has reservations.
Uh-huh, because she's the responsible one.
Oh, okay, let me see
But secretly, she wants to go with them
too.
Oh,
And one of them is interested to see if there'll be boys.
I'm trying to see if I can find out which ones are which, but I can't I can't, so I can see which ones are voiced by Tara and which one is the one voiced by Jennifer Hale. But I can't, for the life of me, even see, because these two characters are. And I'm trying to find their names here on the wiki, but like I don't know, like.
So, just to check, is it just Jennifer Hale and Tara Strong voice in the background Mermaid Sisters, or is there anyone else?
Well, that's the thing, Joe, but I can't find anybody else here on the wiki. Let me see if I can find something on IMDb.
Hey, Kevin Micah Richardson.
Why are you here?
Money, Disney must... Okay.
Oh, there you go. Aquata and Arista. Aquata, get it? Is voiced by Grey
Wait! Oh my god, that's the voice of Daphne and Azula. Basically, she voiced...
Wait, seriously?
Yes,
why is
Grey Delisle. She's voiced so many.
She is Shira. She's Azula. Why is she...
I'm Daphne.
Yeah,
why
Daphne
are you
Blake.
Here,
Grey Delisle has voiced a lot of great women and whatnot. So, okay.
She was also Amanda in Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
And she was Mandy from Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Okay.
Really?
Oh, and she was also Yumi Yoshimura from Hi Hi Puffy Yummy Yumi, and that show was so terrible.
That show was something else.
So
that name sounds interesting.
It's anyway. Let me see what else.
So let me go. Oh wow,
Athena, whoever she is voiced by Carrie Walgreen.
Carrie Walgreen. Where have I've heard that before.
She.
Oh my god, are you really that desperate, girl, that you're going to do? I don't know if you consider interspecies relationship, but okay.
Oh, she was Ash in Final Fantasy XII, and she was Shulk in Dirge of Cerberus.
Huh.
She was also in Phineas and Ferb, Ben 10, Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness, Winx Club. Basically, she's a typical cartoon voice actress, basically. All right. Wait, I think something exciting is happening.
Visuals.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, that's a bit false on that page.
What else? Carrie Walgreen. No, apparently not. Apparently this is it.
She's a mermaid that can't dance, guys. How do you dance underwater?
Why did you say
that? I guess you move around in a certain way.
Shake your groovy thing. Okay, no, this isn't even sexy.
Well, they literally just said spastic. That's not nice. That's not a nice word around here. I'll put it that way.
It's not a nice word anywhere.
Sorry, but this is an American-made film, so maybe I don't know.
There was a time when they accidentally named. Well, I say accidentally, but a Transformer was named that. I need to find that article, but yeah, it is not a good word around here.
Yay, we're all happy and singing for some reason. Oh, hi, honey.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, God.
See? Why didn't you make her Ursula? She's creepy enough, too, for it. Also, please, I don't need to see Finn on her sexy fish.
Okay, Okay, Jova, you're usually good at memorizing these names. Who's Alana?
Alana. I'm one of
One of
Ariel's
the
sisters.
yeah. Like, which one is Alana?
I think she's the one with the purple bra, the blonde hair. And oh my god! Ladies, how old are you?
Yeah.
Wow, wait
Alana's
till...
voice,
Wow,
Alana
Sebastian.
is the one voiced by Jennifer Hale, basically.
Oi, oh boy, Sebastian. When King Triton hears that one of his daughters literally butt bounced you, you were in so much trouble.
Turn off the music, Ariel. You'll ruin your ears by listening too close to the TV or something. I don't know.
Like, musicians wear earplugs for a reason.
I was just referencing. Wait, Maurice LaMarche? Maurice LaMarche is in this movie? He's Scuttle, whoever Scuttle is.
Wait, Scuttle? Don't you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, Scuttle, the seagull.
Yeah. So we have Rob Paulson as Inkspot. Yes, Inkspot. And Maurice LaMarche. Yeah, why are Pinky and the Brain in this movie? Both of them. Like. Gee, Brain, what are you gonna do tomorrow? What are we gonna do tomorrow night? The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Voice generic background characters in a Disney sequel.
I like the MLP parodies of that involving Twilight and Pinkie Pie.
Busted.
Is it time for disciplinary clock hour?
You took my probably underage daughters to a nightclub. Yeah, exactly. Why does everybody else have to have a shit time just because his wife died?
Because he's sad.
That's the crux of this movie, basically.
No, that's the thing, Shiroi. I can understand at the very least him hating humans after that fact. At the very least, again, it makes
But
it
why
makes
music?
Yeah, the music is the bad part. It's because his wife loved music, so music reminds him of
Doesn't
her.
want to hear music ever again.
Allow me to sum up.
It's still so stupid, though.
Allow me to sum up. Allow me to sum up the problem here. Guys, we've made this very cool origin story about why Triton would hate humans. But, sir, we kind of already established that he'll get over his hatred of humans in the movie. Well, maybe we could do what the animated series was doing and build up to it. No, we can't do that. Well, we could throw in music and make it that's why he hates music. Brilliant! And
Look,
there's
okay,
our
I
movie.
understand, people react differently when it comes to grief, and, and not wanting to hear maybe a certain song or a certain musician, that happens, and, it makes sense. Music as a whole, though, I haven't heard of anything like that ever.
This is a plot of Sonic Underground, and Sonic Underground did this better.
And again, the only reason that Robotnik hates it is because he hates fun.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he hates other people's fun.
Oh my god, I just realized something. This guy is also voiced by...
I will not... Jova, I just figured it out.
You know what I just realized, guys? Robotnik was voiced by Jim Cummings, so is King Triton here.
I just figured it out, guys.
What?
Oh, yeah?
King Triton realizes that the music in this movie is bad, so he will not have it. You will not play that music. It's not worthy of this franchise.
Okay.
In that case, he's the hero of this movie.
Yes. There you go. See, I've suddenly turned his assholeness into a virtuous character trait.
God.
You're welcome, writers. You're welcome.
That makes him quite a tragic hero, doesn't it?
Yes, like everybody in this. You see, Jova, this is actually King Triton's story secretly.
Oh wait, this bit coming up. It took you one time to get you to go with her. Why are you telling her about quitting?
We're all sad, basically.
And that's pretty much it for the whole sister bonding thing. Oh, this bit.
So what do we do for the rest of the movie?
We whine.
You'll see.
Anyway.
Immediate contrast! She's happy!
That was the point, but yes.
Wait for it.
She's not even funny as a villain. Like, she's just...
Get it? I don't know, but she...
Get it? That's the scene from the first movie.
Oh, hey, Scuttle! So, did they get Maurice LaMarche just for that one bit with Scuttle?
Brilliant. Clearly, we need Maurice LaMarche for that one line. That line was imperative. We need to get a brilliant voice actor to voice it.
I had to wonder if Sally Field is either just trying to join the league or she's gone crazy at this point. And hey,
Anyway,
hey, look, guys! Hey, guys! It's a reprisal of our villain song. That's right. We had to resort to a reprisal of the villain song, and we have a total of, well, okay, if we're talking about original songs, 2. I mean, 3 if we count this reprisal.
Yes.
I have a very basic question, Jova. What does this song for, aside from filler?
It shows that she got Sebastian's job. See, okay.
But we already know that.
It shows she's the villain.
You see, Shiroi. Okay, Shiroi, how about this? You know how there are some people out there who have who analyze Infinity War as being Thanos the hero and everybody else is the villain. This is also how I analyze this movie. King Triton is secretly the hero because everybody in this movie sings badly with bad lyrics that are not worthy of this franchise. So King Triton has forbidden all music because we will not have this.
Yeah, everyone sings bad except Jodie Benson, but even
Jodie Benson gets a bland song. Oh, speaking of songs, she gets a reprisal of her song. So we're resorting to reprising the only 2 original songs in this movie so far.
We only have 2 songs, Jova, so we have to milk them fucking dry.
In that case, no wonder they only used them. No wonder they only replies to songs once, because that was literally
all I'm trying to do is look. What's her name again? The mom.
The
mom. Yeah. Look.
Oh wait. I remember. I think the mom's name was Athena.
That's it, Athena. Thanks.
Get it? Because Poseidon, Athena.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Why not get Tara Strong to voice Athena? That's an actually important role.
Because Athena's dead.
Well, yeah, but at the very least, she would. Tara Strong would be able to have an important role for the story. But anyway, the point is, yeah. Well, actually, no, this thing is gone now. Don't you see, Athena? All I want is to keep bad music out of our movie and franchise. But nobody understands me.
No one.
Sir, why don't you just literally tell everyone that's the reason that their singing sucks? Like, criticism is the best way to a musician's heart.
But
I don't know how to criticize. The last time I tried.
And how exactly do you suggest we do after the criticism? We don't have Alan Menken. We don't have anybody to write these good songs.
I know. We can give singing lessons. Damn it, we can give singing lessons.
The last time I tried criticism, the other guy ended up deafening the entire audience.
Oh, look at that, going insane.
Why is my theory that I pull out of my ass more interesting than the actual story?
Because this movie is creatively bankrupt.
Yeah.
But I literally pulled this theory out of my ass.
Shut up.
Oh, Rob Paulson. Why?
Why?
First Bubsy, now this.
And the Lennon Before... he was also doing the Lennon Before Time sequels at this point as well, because he was also a character in those.
The man seems to find himself in a lot of high-end bill-paying opportunities.
Ever since Animaniacs and Pinky the Brain ended, Rob Paulson has struggled quite a lot to get work in mainstream animation. He's always been relegated to direct-to-video stuff in these years.
Okay, there was Jimmy Neutron, but that show's dead.
Yeah.
True, Sebastian could just slip through the bars, but he's going off of the honor system. We kind of already were.
Jova.
Yeah.
That was the pitch for this movie right there. Like, and the animators were all like, cool, I guess that works.
But guys, if we seriously do the sequel, we'll be basted for years. Do we really want to sell ourselves out for a cheap buck, or why am I even arguing? I'm already drawing the panels for this.
drawing the panels? Sir, you've been doing nothing but doodling your own T-shirt for the last 2 hours.
That's part of the making the movie. You obviously do not know how making a direct-to-Disney sequel works, my good man.
Oh god, I just don't have to do any more of these. I'm going mental.
Let's
You
be
realize,
quite honest. Would you be
Sebastian-
surprised if that's how Disney sequels were made?
You realize, Flounder, that you could sneak through those bars, right?
Not as easy for him, and Sebastian's the one who could undo it with the claws. Oh, God, Sebastian just had a seizure.
I guess, yeah. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the moral of this. Without music, you might as well be dead.
Interesting moral.
So, Ariel's going to run away from home, I guess.
Alright,
Again.
Jeff, why are you in a manatee?
Well, did she do it in this film before?
Well, okay, she's technically done it in the animated series too, but you know what? Oh, get it? The oldest sister snores.
Because
That's her one character trait. She snores.
Well, don't you get a picture? She's also the mature one who's tries to be all serious and all that, but can seriously be funny.
Oh, nice. Well, at least the animation looks nice, I guess.
Yeah, just like in Mulan 2 where the animation looked nice. That totally excused the movie.
I'm actually going to say that I actually kind of like the way Mulan 2 looked better than the way this one looks. I don't know, like there's something about while this animation does look fine, I don't know, like I think this one I can definitely tell it's a direct-to-video sequel, whereas Mulan
For
2
me, again, it was like sort of the facial expressions of the characters. They're a bit awkward sometimes.
Oh yeah, well yeah, we already talked about obviously there were the problems with some facial expressions, like we said, but overall, I think the visuals of Mulan 2 did a better job emulating the look of its
predecessor.
Of its predecessor. This one, on the other hand, you can this one is so blatant that it's a direct video because it doesn't feel, it doesn't have that handcraft quality visual. I think even Little Mermaid 2 looked better than
It
this.
did.
Wait, Little Mermaid had a TV show, right?
Yes.
It did.
Yeah, is the animation in this very similar?
No, I'm going to say this right now. The animated show was better.
Well, remember, Shiroi, the animation in this movie was colored digitally, whereas the TV series was still colored by hand because it was before.
Oh, guys, it's everyone's favorite. Jump in the line.
See, the big problem with this particular. Whoa!
Hold on, wait. What just happened with the animation there? It looked like they were flipping through the pages for a bit there. Oh God, they did it again!
Okay, I guess the director of the Inspector Gadget movie took over with his transitions.
Are you trying to make me Disney movie? Oh God, rapping in Little Mermaid. Welp. So, when's the rap battle with the rapping dog?
Yeah, like whereas this movie was animated by hand, it was colored by a computer. And the artificialness of it does show. Whereas Mulan 2, I don't know if Mulan 2 was colored by hand, but if it wasn't, then definitely the animators on Mulan 2 did a better job emulating the hand-drawn feel of the original. Whereas this one, they didn't even try to emulate the hand-drawn feel. They just basically did a serviceable job, and call it a day.
You know, speaking of animation, I think there's an issue I have with this movie that both the first and second Little Mermaid movies didn't have. It's one that's very notable in animation. As you know, this movie takes place underwater, yet with this movie, it doesn't feel like we're underwater so much as we are just under some place that occasionally has bubbles showing up. Like, you know, I mean, sure, the motions are down, but I don't know, maybe it's just me, but does something about the animation seem a bit lazy about making it apparent we're underwater?
Okay, so who's Adela, by the way? Is it one of the sisters?
Yes, Adele's one of the sisters. I think she's the green one. Yeah, the green wearing one. Why do you ask?
Because she's voiced by Michelle Lucadou, however how you pronounce this last name. Let me see what she did. She did...
Oh, maybe he was too hard on them. Nah.
She did Jump Across the Universe. The battery's down. Late night Jimmy Fallon.
The Jimmy Fallon show.
Apparently she showed up once and that's it. From what I'm seeing here, she's basically a TV actress. Weird. Like a Little Mermaid 3 is her only voice acting role from what I'm seeing here. Weird. Why get it?
Hey guys, stop me if you heard this plot point before. Ariel / Melody is missing and the kingdom needs to look for them.
So I'm guessing they ran out of money to get talented voice actors, so they had to get this random TV actress who completely unknown to voice one of the sisters, I guess. Sebastian, why am I angry again?
I'm gonna be
Didn't you fire him?
Yeah, but now Triton's looking for them both because he feels that he may have been too hard on them.
Yeah, he changes his mind on a whim for the convenience of the plot.
But guys, maybe I know that I've been feeling this way for literally years of my life, but after this one night, I'm starting to think maybe, just maybe, I was too hard on them.
Yeah, and you go back to being just as hard in the first film.
But that's, to be fair, that's about humans. You know, the thing that actually... Well, actually, when you think about it, it doesn't make as much sense. But I guess, to be fair, he didn't know that they weren't aiming for her. So, we cut to these folks and now see them about to go to sleep.
I kind of wish I was going to sleep, because that's what this still makes me feel like. Sleep.
That's exactly the main reason for that, is because the plot is so paper thin.
It really is.
It's more like wafer thin, to be honest.
It's just there's no substance to this whatsoever.
Oh,
wait,
here we go. See, Marina has constantly had her... Well, she's constantly had Jeff Bennett, the manatee here, keep a key away from her in case she goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Which she kind of has right now.
3 if by... 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, 3 is for the manatee.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's a pretty underwhelming end to these direct-to-DVD sequels.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is yeah. I'm gonna have to side with Webs on this one. Of all the Disney sequels, this is one of the more boring ones. Really,
It really is.
There's so Mulan 2 was god awful and offensive.
Oh, wait.
But at the very least, there was actually stuff happening in that movie.
Okay, Pedro, you want to talk inconsistencies? You remember how Ursula's eels could talk in the first movie?
Actually, Jova, there is technically no confirmation that this is actually Ursula, for you see,
No.
Carol.
I'm not talking about Ursula. I'm talking about the eels. You remember how eels literally could talk? These electric eels cannot.
Oh my god, he's right!
These eels cannot talk. They're just bestial beings. So
I guess these aren't Ursula's eels?
Well, obviously they're not the same eels as Flopsy
Maybe
and
they're the
Jensen.
silent but deadly types. I don't know.
Okay. I should just find out one, Jova. Maybe Ursula's heels were magically given the gift of speech by Ursula herself. Maybe it's just we didn't see it.
Maybe
that's the one possible way this could make sense. But that's just me again pulling something out of my ass to fill in the plot holes.
If she possibly took voices from other people, then maybe?
Okay, guys, at this point, we've gone beyond plot holes. We're underwater. We've got a plot trench on our hands.
Okay.
It's quite remarkable that a plot this paper thin and still manages to have holes in it.
I know, right?
Paper's very easy to puncture.
I guess it's daytime under the sun, and wouldn't you know where they just happen to sleep?
I just want there was a Neo-Dusk comic that I read about basically them taking scenes from Legend of Korra and turning them into songs.
Sebastian's got the right idea.
Turning into songs from famous Disney musical numbers.
Yeah.
There was one where they turned what was the name of the villain from the first series?
Amon.
They had him sing
Equality.
Equality. And Korra was a mermaid for some reason.
So now I just realized this movie's kind of taking a bit of plot details from Little Mermaid 2. The ripping
Which
off.
one was that?
Little,
That's
the sequel.
I have a question. Where is Ursula amidst all of this? And for that record, where exactly is Ursula's sister, who suddenly exists in the second movie for some reason?
Well, okay,
They're
funnily
sleeping.
enough, at least Little Mermaid 2 established that her sister was stationed up in Antarctica, or Antarctica. So I'll give them that. At least, oh my god, Little Mermaid 2 actually fulfilled its plot better than this. But yeah, okay, just like in Little Mermaid 2, guys, our protagonist finds a music box that was actually meant for her, but as a baby or a little child, she seems to have forgotten about, but was truly important to King Trident. Like, holy cow, this movie is lazy enough to have to rip off Little Mermaid 2! Not to say that Little Mermaid 2 is a bad movie. Again, like I said before, there are plot details of it that I actually do like better. Like, I legit find Melody a better protagonist than her own mother.
It was a weird choice of words there from Sebastian. Like, she was more than just his queen. She was his best friend. Well, more than that, I would argue, his wife. More like, no? I mean,
It's always a weird wording a bit.
why not just say his wife, his loved one?
So,
I'm pretty sure they're more than just friends. But that's...
Also, how do you keep a bandage on underwater? Like, water is like a band-aid's worst enemy.
Because they can.
Oh my!
You know,
wait! I just realized. Don't leave me. You're my best friend. That's literally a line between the two parents in Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
How do mermaids procreate exactly? How does it work?
Sure,
That
you
is
handle this
something
one.
we are not going to entertain.
The male and the maid love each other very much.
Okay.
Well,
This is a family movie.
She right. She has a mom and a dad, so clearly something must have happened.
Okay.
It's magic.
Okay. According to Futurama, the way it goes is that the female mermaid lays eggs and then the male one fertilizes them.
But where do the eggs
Oh,
come out?
wait, this bit. You're literally pointing out how silly it was that Sebastian's plan was that somehow Ariel would find the music box and then bring it back to the palace, and that would supposedly snap Trident out of it.
Honestly, at this point, I feel like talking more about that upcoming live-action Mermaid from Disney.
Time for a band discussion about how stupid this all is. I mean, guys, I know it sounds far-fetched, but surely you take the plan to just in the hope of possibility. Say you just took a trip out someplace and the faint hope that one of your party members happens to find, like, I don't know, a penny in, like, the Grand Canyon, and then bring it back to the very society that outlawed you and could possibly kill you on the faint hope that that penny will reignite its leaders' memories of his loved ones. I mean, wouldn't you go for a plan like that?
Sure, why not?
Oh, it's still fucking going.
Yeah, this is so...
But guys, it means something, and all for one, and one for... What movie was I talking about again?
A better one.
Yeah.
Could we just watch The Three Musketeers with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy instead?
I love that movie.
I ain't afraid of no weeds.
Why the slow motion?
Because, stuff.
Shouldn't that thing have shocked him?
You stole that from Doctor Who, the TV movie.
What, the dress?
No, the way she says, I dress for the occasion. And that was played by Eric Roberts, of all people, in that. He's widely considered the worst master.
Boy, Sebastian, them some legs you got there to be able to push over a boulder. Yeah, she almost impaled him. Suspense. Also, I do believe this is our final climax, people, since we're about 16 minutes away from the end of this movie.
This is the final climax, a slow, boring chase.
Yeah, this
it's like that. Like that's the problem with Well, okay, it's not really the climax, but it's really hard to make underwater scenes, underwater action scenes exciting because
yeah, like
Thunderball, the James Bond movie, had that problem.
it's funny. Even the Little Mermaid movies themselves, when their climaxes came about, the climaxes normally took place above sea level. Like Little Mermaid, the final battle is, pretty much, well, okay, it's on the high seas technically, but it's kind of above the sea level. Little Mermaid 2, on the cliffs of Antarctica. Here, underwater, and yeah, it's kind of boring.
Age over. What grade did the what grade did the student get while he was on heroin and was doing it in the ocean?
C.
No, he got a high C.
That was quite forced, but whatever.
Hey, I don't know, more or less forced into this movie is.
Yeah, I'm not a paid writer. Oh, bear in mind, I think one of the writers of this wrote, I think, Cinderella 3.
Oh, Cinderella 3 was such a great movie. What happened?
But Cinderella 3 is so much fun, though.
I know, I love that movie. Really? That's all you have to say? The wit of a 5-year-old. Hey,
that's screaming.
Dude, jeez. Okay, I'll give him that. That actually sounds like he's terrified. Maybe that's how he gets his fears in Little Mermaid 1.
Okay.
I have no idea how that worked, but okay. Guess we'll call it a victory.
Yeah.
I don't feel victorious.
Oh, hi, Dad. Mind giving us a hand?
I could give you a stick.
So her plan was to kill Sebastian by headbutting him or something?
With a edge spear?
Oh no, Ariel's totally
That
dead.
music is absolutely bad.
Ariel's totally dead, definitely.
Like,
Not just
okay,
that.
Look, Disney does these fake outs a lot, but you can't do it in a prequel.
It's literally called Ariel's Beginning.
We've seen the other two movies, guys.
Even
No,
if you
see,
didn't,
guys, it's an alternate universe.
Oh wait,
Oh,
this
no.
bit.
what have I done?
Wait for it. Wait for it.
It's Ariel's Beginning, and in small print underneath it is "and end."
Well, what have you done, Triton?
What have I become?
I said music was bad. Oh God.
Bless Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings can do better, but I guess with the voice he's going about, it just doesn't work. And that brings her back to life, huh?
You know what's the sad part, Jova? Kenneth Mars died before he could do this, reprise his role here, but he still had plenty of opportunities to play Littlefoot's grandpa in the Land Before Time sequence.
So, dignity be damned, I guess.
Yeah, dignity be damned.
Hooray! Hey, we accomplished something.
We can't. I'm not sure what, but
Music is allowed.
What do you mean
again.
you can't breathe? You're underwater.
No, he means not breathe as in they're choking him. They're suffocating him.
Again, do fish really need to breathe? Well, I guess they need to breathe water for their gills.
It's a cartoon. Just roll with it.
Funnily enough, I watched the Red Dwarf episode. Apparently, fish can commit suicide by closing their gills.
Oh. Okay, then.
Well, that's grim anyway.
Well, it's a British comedy. What do you expect?
I hereby declare that music is once again allowed. However, humans still suck.
Just in time
we
for Little
kinda do,
Mermaid
so
1.
Humans still suck. So keep that in mind for the
Because
next movie.
Because if I decide they don't suck, then that would kind of...
And look at that. That's how Sebastian became the official court composer.
Yeah. This was a really, really lame origin story.
The one that they don't mention it in the first film is boring.
I also noticed something that I also think is an error.
What?
Go ahead.
Very early in the first movie, Triton is yelling at Ariel and not explaining why she can't go to the surface. But if this movie is anything to go by,
She should know.
she should know why.
Well, Sherry, according to this movie, Ariel was not able to remember that. Hence the song I Remember. Even though she was old enough to. Like, okay, Tarzan not remembering his parents, he was a baby. Simba having induced amnesia.
But hold on, guys. Tara Strong has a thing she can play now.
Oh yeah,
it's all better.
Oh yeah, that's right. We've also got this last original song.
Oh, and this one got the boyfriend.
Just like she always wanted. I'm so feel accomplished, don't you?
Do we see the sister again in the...
You see, writers, maybe that contradiction that Shira just pointed out could have been ironed out easily if you gave a shit.
I guess they really didn't, knowing that this was the
literally
end.
just realized it.
Okay.
Here's
So
an
the
idea.
music.
Here's
Wait,
an
what? Okay, so the music box can do that.
I don't even.
No, it can't.
Here's an idea. Why not have the mom die, but Ariel doesn't get ever to know about it. It's only King Triton that does, and we have King Triton's acceptance and dealing with his grief privately.
Sorry,
We see it.
Pedro. I will
can see
sing
it.
for the rest of my life.
Yeah, like we could have scenes where King Triton is dealing with his own grief in quiet, visual-driven scenes. That way, we can have that particular establishment for the audience, so that the audience knows what his beef is, but without compromising the continuity.
So you're telling me that was for 10 years music was outlawed? Holy cow!
So, yay! That was a movie.
Oh no! Wait! Credit scene.
Why? Seriously, this would have been the perfect excuse for her to be banished.
I would like to talk to you about the Disney initiative.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Samba.
We're
If
gonna
you
have
can't
to hear
beat
this song
'em,
again, aren't we?
join them.
So, yeah, I guess she's not gonna become any kind of villain.
Maybe she. Well, what are you talking about, Pedro? She was the villain for this. Okay, just gonna say this right now.
Peggy Holmes.
Marina Del Rey not becoming
what else she
Ursula
does.
was one of the most wasted plot lines ever because
writers.
it would have fit for her to become Ursula. Story by Jewel Salbo and Jenny Wingfield.
Whoever they are. Let's see.
But yeah,
What
funnily
did they
enough,
do?
in the Broadway musical, it actually explains that Ursula is Triton's banished sister, which makes a lot of sense in context.
There's a behind-the-scenes video here on IMDb. I'll look it up.
With the voice
Alright,
talents of
that was-
Jodie Benson as Ariel.
Actually, no, I think it's the director, actually.
All right, guys, that
We
was
were
Little
doing that.
Mermaid. That was
Of
Little
course,
Mermaid
Jim
0.5.
Cummings. Blah, 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 blah.
So that was
Ah,
Little
Sally
Mermaid.
Field. I'm sure she'll look back on this movie with great joy.
So
Okay.
Oh,
that
there
was-
were original songs done by Janine Tariosi, or whatever
so
it is.
that was Little Mermaid 0.5, which is the score I'd give this movie. I'll go with my final thoughts first. Since they're short, this film was boring. Don't think it really added much of anything to the anything. There was no wonder this was the last one of these kinds of movies because they were starting to run out of ideas, and yeah, it's just there really.
Here we go.
It's not god awful or anything. I mean, I'd rather. I mean, if you strap me to a chair and force me to watch either this or Cinderella 2, I'd watch this.
Oh, well,
Purely
yeah.
because it's less painful. But that's not really saying a whole. That's it. Who's next?
Sure, Roy, why don't you go next?
Okay. Well, aside from the major plot holes, which again are pretty big, this didn't really need to be a thing.
You think?
I mean, that could be said about most, if not all, the direct-to VHS or DVD Disney sequels or whatever. But this one was just...
It takes the cake, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit too long for what it is. I mean, they could have
It's
just
the
kept a
pinnacle.
TV show and...
It's the pinnacle of pointlessness.
Yeah.
Benjamin takes the kelp over.
I guess.
I see what you did there.
Oh,
What? Go on, Siri. Continue. What are you waiting for?
let's
It
just
didn't really
seal
make
the
a
deal.
splash, did it?
Look, guys. Let's just seal the deal here, okay?
Okay. Move on.
Oh.
This is in sharp contrast to earlier.
Okay, you continue, Shiroy.
I mean, it wasn't exactly a whale of a time. All right, okay, no, seriously, I'll stop now.
Okay.
Yeah, it just didn't really need to happen, and that's pretty much it. Honestly, I don't really have much to say about it. The music is repetitive and not really that great in comparison to the ones for the first movie. The songs in the second movie just kind of irritate me, honestly, but these ones are pretty bland. Like, as was pointed out before, a lot of the lyrics are just la la la. Or
I
just
remember.
repeating the same... yeah, like, just repeating the same line or the same phrase over and over again. It was just padding, really. They could have, like... How long was this movie exactly?
An hour and about 17 minutes.
Like,
Not
if they
counting,
wanted to
and
do,
that's
like,
counting the credits.
They should have just done, like, a TV movie where it'd be about 45 minutes or something, because a lot of this was padding.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not entirely sure how they managed to make a movie this long for it.
What's odd about this is that the composer did a much better job scoring the series of Unfortunate Events TV show from series 2 and 3.
Oh. Cool.
Funnily enough, also, this movie retcons a lot of stuff that was done better in the animated series. Basically, the animated series takes place before the first movie, for obvious reasons.
But, yeah, that's all I have to say. It just is pretty bland and uninteresting. It's not, like, the most offensive direct-to-DVD Disney thing. Like, not even close. But I didn't even need to... Like, I said earlier on I didn't know this movie existed until about a year ago. I didn't need to know it existed. Not because it was that bad, but because it has no effect on how I see the first or second movie at all. Alright, who's next?
So, sure, just for reference sake, we originally saw this movie, like, years ago, but sure, we found out it exists last year. Then again, I guess to be fair, it's that forgettable.
No, I didn't say that the first... Because, remember, we watched this before.
Yeah, true. It's like I
That
thought
was the first time I saw that movie.
Right, yeah.
Like, this is... So, yeah, it was only very recently that I actually heard of or even saw this movie. So,
Yeah, but you said last year. I thought we commented on this like 2 years ago.
Was it? I don't even remember.
I don't blame you. It's not that
But,
memorable
yeah.
movie.
Basically, we attempted this once before, but yeah, that was the first time that I'd ever seen or pretty much heard of it. So, and again, my opinion of the first and second movie has not changed, like because of this. Any issue with this movie is its own thing, and I could have just gone my whole life without knowing it existed.
Well, now you know it does exist.
In the
Great.
meantime, I'm checking out Peggy Holmes, the director of this movie. After this, she went on to be the writer and director of the Tinkerbell direct-to-video films.
Huh.
So
That's...
yeah, those.
They're fine, I guess.
So John did manage to find something for her to do, I guess.
I guess she found her niche
was
there.
Was it really all that much better, though?
Okay,
No,
some of the
from what I've
Tinkerbell
heard.
movies are good, others...
Oh God.
What?
She also wrote one of the segments from Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. So
Oh!
not the original.
That's
Mickey's
Twice Upon a
special.
Christmas.
The CGI, the CGI one that looks like garbage.
Sounds like garbage, and had a script that came
but
straight from the
most
garbage
of her
can.
career however, most of her career is actually as a choreographer. Sorry.
Really?
She was a choreographer for Gypsy, choreographer for Beautiful. She was a choreographer Jungle Book 2. Why would you need a choreographer
For the motion capture of that movie, I'm guessing.
I guess. Okay, sure. She also was a choreographer for Lion King 3, The Three Musketeers, and Kronk's New Groove.
Huh.
So
I guess that's a step. Well, okay, technically those were before this movie.
Yeah. And after this, she became, and ever since then, okay, her last work, from what I'm seeing here, was Tinkerbell and the Pirates. No, his name is the Pirate Fairy.
Ah,
The Pirate
yeah, I
Fairy.
thought so. From what I recall, that's one of the better Tinkerbell movies.
After this, she has no more IMDb credits, so I'm guessing maybe Pirate Fairy was destroyed her career. Apparently, I don't know.
Maybe she quit after realizing that she kind of stooped to doing Tinkerbell movies. Like, they're not all bad, but look, they're kind of like Diet Disney within Disney itself.
Well, they
But
stopped
yeah.
those recently.
Anyway, moving on to my final thoughts. Oh God, this was so pointless.
Yeah.
So pointless.
But Pedro,
Like-
now you got a backstory all about how music was banned for 10 years in the
No,
Kingdom
no,
of Atlantica.
yeah. Even here's a better idea. Like this is the sad part. The sad part is that backstory could have been incorporated into the first movie to make it better. Instead, it's stuck in this pile of nothingness.
Maybe
Like-
they'll integrate it into the live-action remake?
I would hope so. I really hope they bothered to at the very least explain Triton's bitterness better in the live action. Okay, it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a copy paste of what this movie did in the beginning. Just give me a reason. Just give him a reason why he hates humans. That's all I ask. A good reason. That's all I ask.
So
It doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be the fact that humans kill his wife. It can be other reasons. Just give me a good reason. That's all I ask. Anyway. Yeah, this movie was a gigantic waste of time because, like, the plot is paper thin, and yet they somehow managed to pad this out to 1 hour and 17 minutes. And I still don't understand how they were able to accomplish this because it's so terrible. My God. Wow, there's also a behind-the-scenes clip of Jodie Benson recording for this thing. The poor woman.
Aw, maybe she had fun during it?
Well, no, of course she loves playing Ariel, regardless of what it is. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say
Cameo
it.
in Enchanted was better than all this?
Well, that goes beyond without saying, Jova. Well, then again, that was more like a retelling than anything. Like, actually, you know what, Jova? I'm just gonna say it. I think the prequel story of Kingdom Hearts 1 was better than this.
You mean Kingdom
the
Hearts
story-
Birth by Sleep?
No, the Ariel storyline. No, the Atlantica storyline of Kingdom Hearts 1. You know.
Oh,
because
heck yeah. That is
it's
definitely more
technically a
interesting.
prequel because remember we only tell the story of the movie in the second game. So
Well,
Um,
I mean, I don't know what to think of that story since Ursula technically dies in Kingdom Hearts 1, but she's back for Kingdom Hearts 2, but I get what you mean, though. Either way, I agree that was better. I mean, that at least told something of an original story, at least.
not okay. So there's very little to say about it. The music is bland. The animation, while perfectly serviceable, I've seen Disney sequels that look better than this. I would argue, like Mulan 2, I would argue looks more appealing than this. So I don't even have to bring up like Bambi 2 because Bambi 2 is the most gorgeous of all the Disney sequels.
Really?
I never seen Bambi 2.
No, I haven't yet.
You should. Bambi 2 is one of the all-time best Disney sequels. The filmmakers
Wait, it's actually a good Disney sequel?
Yes, it is. It is.
Well, it's a better one. I think I think it's got a couple of problems here.
Java, we have Patrick Stewart as Bambi's father.
Wait,
Okay,
seriously?
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never seen this movie.
Me neither.
Well, now you know. Well, now
Now
you
I
know.
have to.
I'm heavily tempted. Woo.
But anyway,
But yeah, back to this sequel.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like, and not in the traditional way that movies tend to be terrible. It's not painful to watch or anything. It's just boring. That's the biggest thing. For the most part, nothing is actually happening in this godforsaken film. Oh, and look at that, Jova. One of the writers also went on to write the Tinkerbell films. So basically, these people went on. So basically, John Lasseter came into Disney. He got to the direct-to-video people. Okay, you guys are going to be making these Tinkerbell movies from now on.
Oh,
which are
boy.
also
What happened?
He was also a writer for Hey, oh, look at that, Joe. He was also a writer. One of the writers of this movie was also a writer for the 2014 Hercules movie that you love so much with Kellen Lutz.
Wow.
Actually, that was the one for The Rock.
Oh, was it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. There were two
right,
Hercules movies that came out that year. I actually like the one with The Rock.
Oh, he also wrote The Huntsman Winter's War.
Ooh. Ooh. That was...
Because if there's one thing everyone was begging for was a sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman.
It was also a writer for the Beauty and the Beast live action remake. Interestingly.
Well, I guess that was better.
Tarzan 2. Yeah, he was a writer for Tarzan 2. Whatever.
For a moment, it sounded like you're about to say Tarzan 2013.
No. That was written by Germans. As for the other writer wrote Affair to Remember. Oh, he wrote Cinderella Free. God. Well, okay.
Oh yeah. We already established that.
Technically, it only says here additional screenplay material. So he wasn't one of the main screenwriters. He just did a few contributions here and there. So technically.
So overall, this film,
well, yeah, it's boring. Next.
Okay, yeah, like my commentators have said.
Yeah, is it sad that I find the development history and the overall people who worked on it, cast and crew, more interesting than the movie itself?
You know, I think the saddest thing about this movie is that it's such a lackluster end to the Disney direct-to-video sequels. Like, you know, talk about them all we will, but there still is some nostalgia for the dark age of the Disney direct-to-video sequels. Yes, we have to remember them for being lackluster sequels, but some did have good ideas, and quite a few did manage to carry them out good. It is kind of a shame that they were doomed, but, you know, you would hope at least that the final one could have been the best one. It starts off with being a prequel. We've already got an issue. That's not to say prequels can't be interesting. That a prequel to Little Mermaid where we pretty much know how everything's gonna go. Okay, you know what? Far be it for me to say that couldn't work because they showed in like the first, was it 5 minutes or 3 minutes? I'm gonna go with 5. They showed like in the first 5 minutes that a prequel could have been a good idea. And then they completely waste the idea by just making it about music was outlawed. Like, here's the main problem with that prequel. What do we gain from knowing that music was outlawed? Nothing! In fact, if anything, the fact that you're constraining music in a series that revolves around music is in and of itself a problem.
Yeah.
The characters are bland overall. Marina Del Rey had so much potential, though, she had Ursula written all over her. From the hairdo to the way she acts to the motivation, she literally had a good reason to be banished. She even starts off with Electric Eels, who for some reason can't talk while Flotsam and Jetsam can, but hey, like Pedro said, maybe Flotsam and Jetsam can talk because of magic. Maybe. How about those songs? Let's see, the first song is literally Marina Del Rey's villain song. That immediately raises some red flags here, that we start off with a villain song. And then the second song is literally Jumpin' the Line, an already known song. Disney relying on an already known song. Hey, I remember the first time they did that with Chicken Little, because that went well now, didn't it? Didn't it? Hey. And then after that, there's Ariel's I Remember tune, which means that Ariel somehow forgot that as a little kid, her mother was bashed in by a boat, and she completely forgot about the music box that she saw as a kid, too.
And apparently this takes place not long before the first movie,
Yeah.
supposedly, so if that's true, then, you know.
Yep, she's gonna leave her mother for the very people that killed her mother. I mean, okay, look, I get it. She's obviously not racist and all that. But the fact that it never even crosses her mind that maybe it's a little bit uncomfortable, never does. Which kind of makes it feel really awkward in hindsight, now don't it? Again, just makes me maintain that Melody's a better protagonist. Because now, thanks to this movie, her mother's even more inconsistent as a character than she was before.
Also, one thing to say about Triton on that note, this movie again doesn't make sense in context with the first movie, because Triton essentially developed racism because of what happened to his wife, and yet he doesn't go through any of that, obviously, because he's just angry that they were what killed his wife. And he's totally okay with Ariel's marriage and her being human and all that stuff.
Don't you know, Shiroi? Someday we'll be part of your world.
Did they not? Did the people who make this movie just not watch the first one? At all?
I'm beginning to wonder, honestly.
Sorry for interrupting, Joe, but I just had to point that out.
No, I don't blame you. Again, as a prequel, it raises way too many questions, which is... Okay, that's one of the most dumb things you can do with a prequel. A prequel is supposed to explain stuff, but this just confuses us further. That's
Indeed.
Pretty bad. So, yeah, the I Remember song sucks. I realized that's the one song Jodie Benson gets to properly sing. Okay, I guess there's also that rendition of Jumpin' the Line as well, but doesn't count for obvious reasons. Out of all the people who get to sing, Jodie Benson doesn't get to sing as much as she normally does in these movies, and that's kind of a cardinal sin, if you ask me. There's throwbacks to the original films, and then there's literally a point where the movie rips off Little Mermaid 2. That's not something you see every day, having to rip off from the sequel. The sequel that people were kind of already mixed on with the whole music box thing. And then after that, we're literally getting right back. And then Marina Del Rey comes in, tries to, kill everyone, not realizing how that would kind of get her on Triton's bad side. I guess she was trying to kill Triton, but then she also tries to kill Ariel. It's really a mess here. And then she gets arrested. Triton realizes that, oh my god, he was a jerk and all that. Even though he's been on this plot pattern for 10 years, he changes his mind in the equivalent of 3 days at most, and we all live happily ever after he sings a song that Ariel remembers now and somehow brings her back to life, even though we totally knew she was going to survive. And thus we all live happily ever after. Not. Oh, and then we finally get the final song, Something Something I Will Sing for the Rest of My Life. Do you know, I realize saying these song names out loud just makes me realize how bland they are. These aren't song names. These are just what you're going to do today lists. Today, I'm going to remember to get my groceries. Today, I'm going to get my Botox and Marina Del Rey. Today, I will sing for the rest of my life.
I'm gonna brush my teeth.
I'm going to walk my dog. What am I even doing with my life? So, yeah. That's Little Mermaid 3, Ariel's Beginning. A sad end to the Disney direct-to-video sequels.
Oh, yeah, so we'll see you for another one of these, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably maybe 2, since everybody now seems curious about it.
Well, we have to see Bambi 1 first, but I digress.
True, sure, we'll do that.
Well, that's a very short movie, so...
Bambi is one of my favorite Disney films.
I'm still looking forward to when we get to commentate on Cinderella 3, because that is quite possibly my favorite Disney sequel.
We'll see you then.
See ya then.
Sure.
It's dead.
There you go. It's dead. We killed it.